In spite of these parallels, though, we can see that there is a difference of perspective between these chapters. The vision of chapter 2 was seen by a pagan king, and we know that to be Nebuchadnezzar, because it was, remember, a dream he had. And so, therefore, chapter 2 read almost like history as man would view it. Each empire had some intrinsic value. Remember, each material of that stone, of that statue in his dream, had like some kind of a rare material associated with it, whether it was silver, bronze, or gold, or iron. Remember, those are valuable to mankind. But what's interesting is when we look at chapter 7, though, this dream was given to Daniel. We know Daniel to be a man of God. And the way God reveals the nations of history, he reveals them to be what they actually are to Daniel. They're portrayed as God sees them: wild, ferocious beasts, continually fighting and devouring one another. I want you to meditate on that. Nebuchadnezzar sees a statue as something that he could idolize, something he could worship. Every nation had something of value, something to provide to human progress, but not Daniel. Daniel, when he sees this vision of four beasts, which lines up with the four materials that compiled together to form the statue, and Nebuchadnezzar's dream back in chapter 2 of Daniel, Daniel, however, sees terrifying beasts that are coming up one after another, getting more and more intense, more and more terrifying. And so what we left with here, and this is where, again, you're going to have different interpretations of this text. Let me give you a few. And maybe you'll say, hey, you know what? That's what I line up with. Great. Over the course of this study, I'm not trying to convince you, but I do want to give you thorough evidence for why I believe what I believe and why I teach what I teach. And I hope it's going to make sense. I hope it's going to be consistent. And that's my biggest prayer. That's why I asked David before we began even, please pray for this, because I want it to make sense to you.